Hey, bro, come on.
I guess
now,
we'll
dog.
transition. Oh, son of a.
Come on, man.
I forgot to turn that. My bad. I forgot to turn that off. Pro streamer here. Welcome in, Trekkies, to another live stream here for Star Trek Fleet Command. Wow, what a pro streamer. Pro streamer. Best streamer we've ever seen. Ever. I've never seen a better one. Turn it back on. Might as well. Look, today is going to be one of those type of days where you love, you hate. But I will say, and when I talked to y'all last month and said that, hey, me and DJ in particular this month have put a lot of input into events. And I'm very grateful that they listened to a lot of, me and DJ's input. This is one of the events that we were talking about. This is one of the events as we were saying, hey, maybe it's a little bit better. Maybe this experience of Worms could be better for some players that we've been having in the past. So we're going to discuss this event today. We're going to give a shout out first to all the servers who are here. So I see stuff from the top. I know tons are going to roll in. We've already got 140 people watching. Been live like 2 minutes. 31. Wait, sound? Y'all don't hear anything? Okay. Y'all should hear plenty, John. If you're not hearing something, there's something on your end. But server 31, server 40, server 36, 29, 157, 61, server 10, 72, 121, server 40, server 74, 71, 75, 27, 63, 17, 14, 138, 12, 201, 26, 44, 139, 29, 35, 57, 115, 178, 31, 184, 007, 17, 146, 41, 176, 8, 66, 55. All the servers exactly, Jeremiah. 22, 138, 63, and 76. Could love to see a dual grinder there. 35. Hike! Exactly, Jace. Follow the Hudak Official Podcast if you want football news, because I have that on another channel. 145, 30, 73, 152. Good to see everybody coming in. If you would do me a huge favor, server 17. I was actually just talking to GMM the other day. If you are here watching live, share this out on your Discord, Facebook, Reddit, inside your servers, wherever, because today is a great day for feedback. We want to get your thoughts on Wormadas. Are they finally decent? Are we finally running Wormadas where it feels like there's a point, there's a purpose? Do we care at all? Well, that's what you got to tell me. Y'all got to tell me. Skipping work, server 28, love to see it, Prickly Poo. Absolutely love to see it. Today, we have a ton of Doomsday events. You've got a solo leaderboard, an SMS, 2 SMSs actually. So you got 2 Tindy trophies, an ALB, an AMS, and then a brand new style of event never done before. Shout out server 81 Okona, Michael. A new style, the starter bonus. This is an event that I know many of you may have looked at and went, holy crap, it's not possible. It's literally the point of this event. They literally made an event where you could try to blow as much as you could and get rewards for it. Yeah, hey, server 12, shout out Shane. Literally the first time we've ever had this type of event. It is a burn and get as much rewards as you can for your directives. Getting recruit shards in that. Too low of a level for that event? I'm sorry, Jennifer, that is. You're looking at 30 plus in terms of the range for that event. Now, I do have my baby account, and we'll switch over my baby account and talk about Doomsday event over there. But it is a much smaller, much smaller. Now, that doesn't make it bad necessarily. Here, let me go ahead and swap it over so I can give you I can let you see what it looks like. So here's the baby account. This is the level 22 account. And while it does have the Doomsday, you've got a basic SMS behind me. This basic SMS is going to be for hitting the smallest of worms that you possibly can. And it will pay out directives, so that's good. Will pay out directives. But hitting Doomsday hostiles will be a little bit tricky with my North Star, but I might try to swing it. Then, of course, we've got... Whoops, wrong one. I'm on the wrong screen. Here we go. This is regular hostiles, which I can do by hitting anything on my level 22. I was on my level 42. Hit anything here to qualify. I'm going to get event store currency, my completionist trophy, some TOS Spock, and then special hostiles to give bonuses. So they did try to scale it to where everybody could get a little bit of something. There's your AMS. So this is your Alliance milestone. I'm going to get a fancy avatar and some Doomsday directives that I can save on my baby account. And then, of course, there's the Alliance leaderboard, which everybody gets to participate in, with many of you going after Dr. Tiana's ears. And I'm really happy to say that 10 alliances are going to be able to get that reward. That's a much higher reward than we're used to seeing for what they consider an exclusive frame / avatar. So they did try to go a little bit above and beyond in the Doomsday Worms in terms of the feedback that they listened to try to make it better for everybody and try to make it as enjoyable as possible. Brian says, wait, does this mean Scopely heard what we said, something about holding on to all this crap and give us a chance to spend it? To a degree, yes, Brian, yes. To a degree. Now, this is not to say that Doomsday will never come back again. I'm not saying that this means the end of Doomsday Worms. What I am saying is this event was designed to allow you to complete as much as possible, get rewarded for it if you wanted, and then turn in those materials and actually be able to get officer shards for them. That's the only reason that Doomsday were decent to begin with, was the ability to get officer shards with them. And that is something we're able to get right now. Now, the key is what you focus on. Like so far for me, you see you got the Doomsday resistance chest, projectile shards in here. I'm up to 486 shards. You can't see it because I've got our house fund and our baby fund in the way. Here, let me move it to the side real quick. Here's our baby fund taken down so you can see I've got 486 so far. It's obviously going to depend on how much you run in your alliance, how many things you're able to get into. But in terms of a sourcing, this is one of the better sourcings that we've had. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a preview. I will have a video out in roughly 3 hours going over what's the best tactic for this. I'm going to go ahead and just spoil it for those who are watching live. Rare armadas are the go-to, not the epics. The rares are what's going to give you the most in terms of salvage parts, which are the little worm hooks at the top right. So the rares are the key there. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the video that I put out after the stream. But yeah, here you go. This is the key. And in participating in as many of these as you possibly can, getting projectile shards, getting officers, and then, matching that up to what other events that you could be running. But also what I'm really interested in is hearing y'all's opinions. And honestly, getting in, here, I'm going to get ready to be grinding in a second. But hear what y'all thought. Tiana's ears are the true reward for the event. I actually really love it. I understand that not everybody likes frames and avatars, but I do love the ears and I can't wait to wear them. Our server is ops locked at 39. I am in the top alliance. Only 6 people have an enterprise. The rest of us can't beat those rare armadas. Are we supposed to fail those rares and just get points for starting? Marit, so that is going to be difficult for a newer server. I can understand that. At the end of the day, that's kind of up to you of what you choose to do. You very well could choose to simply complete it just to get your SMS in. And then afterwards, just not try to go for any of the others. Don't worry about the leaderboards, things like that. That's going to be a problem very unique to new servers, though. If we start uncommons, it would take too much time. Uncommons do take a long time. This is true, Maurice. Like I said, this is a very specific issue, and I'm not trying to say that your issue doesn't matter. It 100% does. It's just a very specific one for new servers. And I can try to pass along feedback to them and say, hey, look, this is difficult for some of the new servers. Could we look at adjusting something? But for the greater scale of the game, it seems to be well balanced, but I want to take this feedback. Jeremiah says, I don't see rares. Okay, Jeremiah, let me help direct you to where rares are. So for example, the rare system that you see us running in is Al Booth. Al Booth right up here. It is north of your level 35 swarm systems. Right here. So you've got epics in Berthier. You've got rares in Al Luth, and you've got uncommons in Napier. Well, sorry, these are more rares in Napier. The uncommons, I forgot, are actually down at the bottom. The uncommons are down here. It's like if you come down to Neatum, is where you're going to find, if they spawn, some uncommons, like right here. But those are only going to pay out par steel. That's the difficulty with running these. They only pay out par steel. And for me to run Wormadas and find value in them, I want to be getting officer shards. That means I need to be running rares. And I will say the rares are not that difficult to beat. They do cost more, obviously. Rares are going to have a higher price point. But a 40 or 43 is not terribly difficult to destroy if you have epic ships. If you're on a newer server, this goes back to what Maurice was just saying, it's going to be very, very difficult. But to beat a 43, and I know you're going to say, well, you got Northcuts and Katingas. I promise you, we've been running them with, epic ships and can beat them fine. A 58 million Armada is not very difficult. But if you are in the upper 30s without a high level epic, or you do not have players in the 40s to help you, yes, this can be problematic. And this is going to be something that balancing becomes a little bit of an issue. And this also goes back to when I try to teach players, like, look, be very careful when you level up to certain ranges and don't have ships and officers and stuff ready that can set you back. Austin says, I think they should avoid away team events on months where they have away team leaderboards. To an extent, I agree. I would say that this one is, we can start sourcing, for 2 months, we had really good sourcing of away team speed ups. If we had a consistent sourcing of those speed ups, I would be more okay with it. But because we are getting away from, we haven't had that in, since the Dabo table, it is getting a little bit difficult for some people. Now, I do tell people all the time, every 4, 8, and 12 hour mission you run, regardless of whether you think you can critical it or whatever, run it. Even if you're putting in a crappy officer, like I'm going to throw Mitchell in because I'm not upgraded, doesn't matter. Run every 4, 8, and 12 hour that you see. If you got really bad RNG, and this kind of goes back to some of the arguments that people have made, that if you got a terrible RNG run, what are you going to do? I mean, if you just get nothing but 2 and 3 days, then you're just kind of stuck. And that is feedback that we can definitely pass along. Quan says, I did a 43 Doomsday with 23 mil power. It's not that hard. Are you saying you did it with 6 million power? I mean, yeah, they're not difficult to beat. They're not super strong armadas. And I will go over logs. And like I'll show, how really small ships can participate in and win, to the point that you can almost go in with really nothing. Like, I know I'm being a little exaggerative here, but on this next run, tell you what, I will bring out my Valdor and I will send in, a level 28 ship and show you that it's going to win with rares. 6 seats with 23 mil power. Okay, I see what you're saying there. They are not ridiculously strong. That didn't help at all. I just reached Shipyard 39. When will I see the jelly pop up in the pay store? Generally, the jelly pops up in the pay store when your alliance has a 3-star territory. So I'm going to recall my Valdor real quick. Then I'm going to send... Mihai said DJ tried with 6 Saladins, failed nicely. DJ was doing a lot of experimentation. He also was running, like Badgie as captain. He had a really nice log with that. You are going to need at least epics. But if I bring an extremely weak ship, that will at least help offset some of the balance and give you a visual representation. We're doing the 40s with 5 enterprises, around 15 to 16 million power, all epic ships. Yeah, that's plenty. That's plenty to do the 40 epics. And like I said, this is going to be something that we talk about in my video in a few hours. But even then, I still want feedback. I want y'all to say, hey, look, it's still too tough. We need to fix this. Yeah, DJ running it with Badgie as captain was hilarious, but that proves that these Armadas are not particularly difficult. I've got a 40 down here, I think, right here. So you've got Enterprise A's. But if you actually look at the stats of the Armada itself, it is not a super strong Armada. And that's a 40 million right there. They are very weak in terms of their piercing values. Epic ships are able to go toe-to-toe with them. Let me get one scanned so I can actually give you a visual of what I'm talking about here. So go back to our galaxy tree. We get up to 10 million power total. Yeah, that should take out a 40. So let's hit this 40 system real quick. Now let's look at an epic. Wrong one. That's not an epic system. Look at the ones that have like the little icon next to their name, Napier. So if we scan this Doomsday 40, look at its values here on the right side. So its armor is 113,000. That's not difficult to overcome. My Franklin is not the best example of trying to overcome that. But, here's your piercing values. Franklin, 55,000. So horrible one to scan with. Let's scan with the Enterprise. Let's scan with the Enterprise. So here is your attack has 113,000 and 113,000 defense. My Enterprise is 247,000. So your epics are naturally going to have above typically their mitigation level. So you're not going to have to worry about fighting against, 70% mitigation. They don't put out a ridiculous amount of damage. They don't even have a high critical damage marker versus compared to a lot of other ships. So you're looking at it being a relatively easy armada compared to some other armadas. Can we have that icon for all systems with an armada? Maybe also an icon for housing? Yeah, maybe. Feedback can be passed. Just a 43 rare of my tier 7 Burrell with Disco PvP crew. Yeah, the rare, you can argue that the 32s, high tier 32s can participate depending on who's coming with you. And also who's running the armada. Who's running the armada? Dude, I only have 4 people in my alliance. I'm trying to join a different one, but I don't know how. So Dorian, if you actually need to leave an alliance, click your alliance button. It's right over here. At the very top right, there is a settings wheel. Click your settings wheel and you'll get the option to leave alliance, which will then allow you to join another alliance. Hey, Eco, don't you have meetings and things to actually be working on? Sorry, I'm responding to something that Eco actually just texted me. All right. Let's can't forget to do that after the stream. I have 9 points left for Tindy recruit, but there are 5 days left. Did I miss out on her? So today, if you finish both your dual events, you should be at 22. You should be at 22 if you finish today's events. Or is it 23? Somebody correct me because I feel like I'm misquoting there. Wish the whale helpers responded like I heard you have. Hey, Draco. I'm not going to say that. Draco, if you need help, you can come to me, buddy, and I'll help you out. 23. Thanks, everybody, for confirming. I knew it was 22, 23. I missed one yesterday because I had to take care of my son. So, under 30, are we getting something to give us under the completion medal? Hey, EcoBoost Engine. Hey, EcoBoost Engine, why don't you answer that question for all the people that are here? Hey, Eco, why don't you jump in voice? You're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. Here, just call me on Discord real quick so we can answer these questions quickly. You're not doing anything. You work for Scopely. You literally get to sit mimosas on a beach and get on Discord on your phone and say, hey, guys, this is what's up. This is what's up. So hop in real quick. At level 25, we don't have a second trophy today. Correct. Yeah, so my level 22 account does not have a second trophy today. It only has the one. Now, my level 22 account is also way behind on the Tindy event. But we will get that followed up. Eco says he's following up for you. And Eco actually does follow up, which is really weird. I'm not sure how to handle a content creator and a community manager getting along. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's really odd. All right, let me get this going. Eco, I'll give you my TLDR in a minute. Let's get everybody's problems fixed first. Let's help the community first, and then we'll do that. Eco, fix the location issue. Yes, Eco, fix your code, buddy. Eco, fix your code. Yeah, if you could just fix your code, that'd be great. The Doomsday Worms and Armadas are the most hated feature I've seen since I started playing STFC. This is true, Chris, but what I'm trying to gather from everybody is, did this make it better? My biggest issue, now look here, Eco, you have not been here long enough to be using our jokes. Shout out Jess and the moderator team on Discord. What I'm arguing and what I'm asking everybody is, did this actually make it good? Because this is, and look, here's why I'm so personal on this one. This is something that myself and DJ spent a lot of time with the Arc Runner this month going over. Hey, if we're running Wormadas, this is what we would like to see. We want it to look like this so that people find value in it. So the best thing that you can tell me right now is, Rev, I find value in this event. Now, if you don't qualify for this event or you're too low, I do want to hear what you want to say because I don't think it's perfect. Anything can be adjusted. But as Eco likes to tell me all the time, compromise is where both sides leave unhappy. So I do want to stress that I think that I am first on the ALB. Yes, I am, Khalil. I'm also second in the solo leaderboard because I've been doing this a lot today. But what I want to gather is, do you finally find value? Because the number one issue for most people with Doomsday was there's no value. You're hitting armadas to get crappy amounts of par steal and stuff. The goal of this was to give people a way to actually source the officer shards again. That was a big thing that I was really stressing. Like, yo, we have got to give out these salvage parts again. We've got to give out the salvage parts because a lot of people had saved up so many Doom Armadas, they wouldn't even run them because there was no point in running them. So getting these shards to go after TOS officers was huge for me. And that's something I pushed really heavy on. DJ leaned in really heavy on it. And DJ did a great job leaning in on the metrics in terms of the actual scale of the events and the levels that we should be trying to reach to score. And then I really want feedback on the brand new style of event. This is the first time we've ever run. Well, I say we, I don't work for Star Trek League, man. It's the first time they've ever run an event that basically has no intended ending. The starter bonus is basically intended to be impossible to complete. It's an event for you to finally be, okay, can I do something with all these stupid armadas and get something for them? Can I get something for them? And that's what you're doing here. This 22 or 1 day event left where you would need to run, what? Geez, 100 rare armadas to finish. Look at all the points you get. Look at all the salvage parts you get. Joseph says, at war, so Armada leaders getting killed by cloaked enemies in the last minute, so no value. Okay, well that's a server politic thing that Scopely can't really help with. You know, PvP in Armadas is a thing. Remember that you can also cloak your ships if you have cloaking, but I do feel for you, Joseph. All right, Wolfwood says, this version of Doomsday is better. However, is it a one-time only event? Will it come back? And if it does, sourcing Armada directs will be an issue. Now, Wolfwood, you bring that up. Yesterday, there was an SMS to source directives. Today, there's another SMS to source directives. Do you not think that the directive sourcing is enough? You're getting 2 days of sourcing. Jeremiah says, can't beat rare Doomadas. Jeremiah, I'm going to have a video today, but you don't need much to beat Doomadas. Epic ships, even rares at level 32s can beat a level 40 Doomada. TR says Doom Armadas could have value if there are more Armada spots. Otherwise, it's useless between wars or just overcrowded space. See, look, server 20 is one of the more active, and I want to get y'all's thoughts. Server 20 is one of the more active servers in the game. It's an original server, yet we're not having any trouble. And even though we've been at war for 3 years, everybody seems to be leaving each other alone so that we can complete. You have a tier 7 Sally. Now, tier 7 Sally is going to struggle. If all you had was tier 7 Sallies, you're not going to beat a rare. You're not going to beat a rare. But here, let me take out my Valdor. I'm going to swap my Valdor for a low tier ship. I'm going to bring a Saladin and then let everybody else bring things like epics. And hell, I could bring something even smaller. I mean, honestly, knowing what people are going to bring to mind, I could bring something even smaller. But it goes down to what I was talking about before, your actual piercing stats. So you see how like my armor piercing on my Saladin is 99,000? Well, a rare level 40 Armada, Doomada, has got 113,000 for each defense line. So you need a little bit above that. So if I was to go to my Burrell, I'm above that. See, my accuracy is above that. If I was to go to a tier 5 D4, my accuracy is above that. So it takes you getting into those rare and epic ships. Now keep in mind that if you are a tier 7 Saladin, that's a level 28 ship. Doomadas are supposed to be for level 30 plus players, and the rares are getting into the level 32, level 34 plus range players. That makes sense? It makes sense. How many rares do you need to run to complete the event? So which event are you talking about, Zero? Are you talking about the big event, the starter bonus event? You basically need to run 100 rares. And I don't think anybody's ever going to do that. But that was the point. That was the point. If you're talking about the Doomsday Fissures event, remember you get points for winning as well as participating. Now at level 42, I needed 30,000. For each Armada directive, I got 50 points. So 50 times 50 would give you your 2,500 per rare that you would launch. But if you just participate in, Like I ran a level 50 Doomada for my alliance and gave them 7,500 points. But losing also gives you big points, even if you lose. 50,000 to complete Fissures off 4-6. Yeah, Andy, which is why I ran a rare. I ran an epic for my higher level players, because that was just my way of giving back, since they are letting me participate in a bunch of the lower level ones. So bad. The uncommons are horrible, and the grind, if you have to do uncommons, is ridiculous. The uncommons should have been redone so the reward was meaningful and the grind isn't as bad. Christopher, I think that's good feedback. Eco Boost is somewhere in the side right now, and I do want to point out that if you're forced to run the uncommon Doommadas, whichever ones that you want to point at, you got really low systems there, but let's say that you're in this level 39. Let's say that you're in Titaxib. And this is something that, we've talked about. If you're forced to go through the uncommon level of this, it is really, really awful. It's not, I would say that this small section of players that are limited to this, I think more players can hit rares than they know, but the smaller section of players that are limited to this gives you no real value, because your rewards are par steel, not salvage parts. Now I got to point out, I don't actually know if I can say that. Eco, I'm going to text you if I can say something real quick, just to verify. Let me know if I can actually tell them that, because I think that would help people, but also help direct feedback and how we ask for feedback. Let me know if I can actually say that. Anyway, feedback is a big thing for me, man. I feel like we've got the most open feedback channels that we've ever had in the past 2 or 3 months. So Eco, the reason I asked that is just based on how you would provide the feedback for, because that is something that I've gotten told a lot. Just change it. Just change it. Okay. Anyway, Eco's texting me in Discord. It's a good thing to have multiple monitors, by the way. If you're looking out there to be a content creator, step 1, multiple monitors. Multiple monitors. Is it worth tearing up all my possible offers? No, any cool gamer does not, because you are limited in how quickly you can, collect badges, and you are limited in how much officer XP you can get. So no. Eco says adjusting rewards is not just a one-person decision, but it is great feedback to have. So the point that I was kind of making, and what a lot of players are saying, that if you're in this bracket, and I really want to stress, more people can hit the rares. More people can hit the rares than they believe they can. I promise you, you can, and I will try to help in a video with that later. I promise you can. But if you're limited to uncommons, I do agree that if you're in a, say, let's just discuss brackets. Let's say if you're level 28 through 32, your SMS should provide you more salvage parts, because you can't reasonably get salvage parts. You can't reasonably get salvage parts. That makes sense? What teams do you advise for Armadas? Jeremiah, we're losing Doommadas, rares, big teams. Look, size doesn't matter. Knowing what the heck you're doing matters. And that's not meant to be offensive, it's meant to be accurate. So crew-wise, this goes back to understanding the basic mechanics of the game and the stats of the game for what you're going after. So for example, let me pull up a Doomada. You're going to see a variety of ships here. But like, look at my crew. 5 of 10, 6 of 10. I'm sorry, 5 of 11, 6 of 11. I don't know why they added that all that other time. And then Khan. This is a very basic Armada crew. Most of these officers, every player has to some level in the low mid 30s. Everybody has these to some degree. If you have followed what the content creators have been pushing you to do for the past months, years, you've gotten transporter patterns that have allowed you to get 6 of 11. You've unlocked Khan through your Swarm Sundays. This is an example of a crew. Now, how is this crew effective? 5 is going to increase your mitigation, meaning you are going to take less damage, but you also got to have a good 6 of 11. If 6 is not providing you enough of a bonus to that penetration stat is lowering the mitigation of your target, 6 is a waste. What tier is your 6? And what stats can you stack underneath? So the truth is, even though this is the crew that I'm using, this is a bad crew for my ship for a couple reasons. One, my Valdor is only tier 3. So my Valdor is limited in the number of slots I have for officers. So that means I can't stack a lot of stats for 6 of 10 to use. Another problem is my 6 of 10 is not maxed. I'm a very low tier 6. So my 6 is actually a waste here. What you can do to supplement is there's a lot of Armada crews you can run. For example, remember, Hull Breach gives you a magnification to criticals, but you only need 1 officer. So to help out my team, what I could do is run 5 Con Gorkon. Gorkon that creates Hull Breach on a target everybody in the alliance can use. So if we had 6 people in an alliance all running Con and I brought 1 Gorkon, everybody's criticals just got stronger. Everybody. Basic Armada crewing is important. If people are just coming out with things like Kirkspot Con and really generic stuff and like we're running Vimit Nero, you're going to lose. But I promise you, with proper crewing, rares and epic ships can take down 40 Armadas. We have so many logs proving it to be true. So many logs proving it to be true. KF says, I was wondering if you can give us some advice. An extremely toxic player on my server has gone rogue by himself and is killing us all the time, making it difficult. What can we do? I mean, you can tie him up with small ships. As long as all he's doing is PvP, though, that's not against terms of service. Now, if he's coming at you in Galaxy chat and he's saying things that are racist, homophobic, you know, really crossing the border, changing his name into things he shouldn't, then that is a toxic player that, deserves to get some form of punishment. But if all of he's doing is being a rogue player and PvPing, that's not toxic. That's just the game. Jeremiah, I can't tell. Your attitude's a little off, buddy, but truth is, if you're running proper crews or proper ships, it is not hard to do. It's not hard to do at all. It's not hard to do at all. It just takes sitting down and actually laying out what you're doing, understanding basic things like mechanics that everybody can use together. I use Riker Kirk 6 on the Enterprise. Shane, that is a fantastic Enterprise PvP crew. Kirk, to give you morale for your Enterprise and never lose shields. Riker as captain to give you a continual boost in damage. And then 6 for the piercing values. Now, I would adjust that slightly, possibly, if we're going against a 40. And I would take 6 and put Khan on if somebody had brought Gorkon for even more damage creation for my Enterprise. Is Riker 6 Khan not a good combination, or is the synergy really needed? No, the synergy does not help 6 at all. The whole point of having 6 of 11 is the officer ability. Synergy does not improve an officer ability. Synergy does not improve an officer ability. So with 6, the whole point is simply dumping your opponent, in this case, the Armada's mitigation. With my 1.3 million Bortus, it's hard. Now, Bortus is, and this goes back to what I was showing you before. The reason the Bortus is going to struggle the most, come look over in our stats. Remember I talked about a level 40 where Armada have 113,000 defense of each stat? See how my Enterprise has 247,000 piercing? That means I'm going to dump a good bit of that stat. But let's switch over to my Bortus. My Bortus is 2 million. But even it, shield piercing, a level 42 player with a max Bortus is only 99,000. It's not able to overcome the defensive values of that Armada, meaning that the Armada is going to have extremely high mitigation. Any damage I create with the Bortus is not going to be enough. I'm going to have to be carried. And that's why mitigation and piercing is so critical, whether we're talking about Armadas, PvP, PvE, whatever. But if you get into the rares, Gladius, Intrepid, those values are starting to get above. So mitigation now becomes easier to overcome, meaning you put more damage out. Not to mention your DPR for these ships is usually going to be much higher than what it is for a low level ship. So even my Saladin DPR is 500,000. Centurion's 561. And my Burrell is 657. While having higher piercing values. The best way to deal with the rogue solo player is to get 4 or 5 guys together and make it a point to hammer his base anytime he's online. That's a good strategy, Brandon. One that I've talked about pretty extensively, actually. Pretty extensively. Yeah, let's keep talking Cruzo. Dude, Garage Mercaden. This is one of the rare times I don't mind worms because they're actually giving out salvage parts. Big Smile says, simply put, this event is not very average player friendly. That either says the average player is doing things wrong or the game does a poor job preparing players. Okay, so we can agree that the game does not prepare players. Like, the game does not have a tutorial system for, hey, you're losing Armadas. Here's why. Here's why. To be honest, though, that's every game. Like, if you bust into World of Warcraft, there's not a, hey, you should probably bring this gear to this boss. They don't do that. This is part of you having to figure out the game for yourself and learn it. This is just how MMOs work, which is one of the reasons that content creators are so big. The average player should not have an issue. If we're talking about the average player, which most of the game is somewhere in the 30s, there are a lot of new servers, and I understand new servers have their own issues. But the average player, if you're talking about them having like a rare 32 or an epic 34 specifically, can definitely take on a level 40. Now, I'm still with y'all that we should find a way to make the rewards more valuable for those who have to go after the uncommons, because the uncommon Doomadas have no value at all. Like, those are literally a waste of time, and it sucks to have to do those. That's a problem, but I think it's a separate problem too. One of the things that I was trying to point out is that more people than they know can compete and do the 40 rares. The salvage parts are real nice. Glad to hear it, Tiberius. Baleen says, I'm screwed then. I've got 40,000 shield piercing. Baleen, to be honest, I'm not sure what level you are, but you are kind of more in the bracket designed to go after uncommons. And that is something that I agree needs a huge overhaul, because getting paid in par steel doesn't really give you much value. And it sucks that the only thing at the end of the day that you're really going to get out of this is Tendy shards, which is still great, by the way. Still great, by the way. I don't think I do, but there are any worm events for me, and I can't do anything because I'm Ops 19. Yeah, Ops 19, any cooler, you're basically just going to have to do regular hostile hunts. Doomadas or something for a little bit higher of a level player. My level 22 account is the same way, by the way. So if I bring up my level 22 again real quick, rotate it on over. Just collected syndicate check, everybody. If you haven't collected your syndicate, hit that up. I just hit level 6 on my baby account, which is real nice. But anyway, my events also, I don't get Doomsday events. I have regular hunt events. Just go hit hostiles. But the good news is that because my alliance and my AMS is high, at least I'm going to get some of that stuff going later. At the end of the day, you are getting event store currency, which is nice, and your completionist trophy. Is the ISIS jelly any good against Armadas? Yes, it is. Is it the best against Armadas? No, I would still rather have my maxed enterprise than my tier 5. Oh my God, all the notifications are annoying. But yes, there's definitely value there. Tiberius says, it seems like the people that could benefit the most from TOS officer shards are the ones that will have the hardest time getting them. Well, I don't know if I could agree that they benefit the most, because I'm level 42 and still don't have maxed TOS officers. I think everybody can benefit them because they're such a hard officer to get. I do agree with you in the aspect that we should have low levels having a better shot at getting them. That is something I'm not arguing. And that's something that I will provide in feedback, that in those ranges where you're forced to have to go after the uncommons because you simply can't participate or help in the bigger ones, that you should be getting more salvage parts in return. My alliance, we have guys that are 35 plus doing the uncommon as they think they are the best because of how these events have run in the past. Dennis, that is wrong. Please tell them to correct that. They are wasting directives. The best thing that you can do, this event is basically designed around the rare armadas. The epics are the least efficient. Now, the big players, the epic players, your big whales need to run the 50s. No, they don't honestly need to, but they'll run the 50s to get the most points to finish their event. The rares are the sweet spot, though. The rares are the sweet spot. Do I have no more research to do at level 22? I think I need to go ahead and hit the 23 here soon. Yeah, we'll do this one. Yeah, I don't want... we'll do that. If you can't do rares, it's your fault. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. Depends on level, etc. But I will say that most players can contribute. You have to get all completionist trophies to unlock Tendy. Yes, TR. There is no extra day. There is no bonus gimme. You have to do every single one of them to unlock Tendy. Dennis, I don't know why they would think that the entire thing is trying to point people to get salvage parts. Everything's set around the rares. Rares are definitely the easiest and the best. Chris Fox, there's not 2 American flags, bud. There's just several flags that look like an American flag. It's not 2 American flags. That was a very American statement, my friend. We're so good, we got 2 flags in our emoticon. No, it's not. But remember that the U.S. has several territories as well. I might try to see if I can put a 40 rare later with our few 39 40s. And look, I'm going to have a video out today talking about crews, reminding people about Armada crews. But I can promise you it can be done. I promise you it can be done. And I'm going to try to help everybody get it done today that I can. Afternoon and dog. I will be working on that video as soon as we wrap up here. So in roughly 45 minutes, I'll do that event. Within 2 hours from now, I should have that video out. Yeah, the lowest rares, Paul, are 40s. Dennis, what are they doing? Why is your alliance intent on doing bad things? And you can tell them I said that. Why are they intent on doing bad things? Like even in my video yesterday, I specifically said, do not run Doomsday right now. Do not run Doomsday right now. All right, let me recall. All right, so Nick says, isn't it more efficient to run the 39s for 1 Armada credit for 200 points for SLB and ALB? What is it that you're purposely going for here? Hold on, I still got the old, I still got the baby account up. Switch it back. All right, so let's take a look at solo leaderboard scoring, where I'm currently ranked 4th. Spend 1 to get directives. 39 gives you 200. Defeat a 43. 2250. Defeat a 40, 1500. Your launching Armada directives is giving you the same amount of points no matter how you launch it. No matter how you launch it. Jeremiah, we got to fix your caps lock button, buddy. I think it's broken. You're getting the same amount of points whether you're launching an uncommon or a rare, because it's based on the amount of directives you're spending. 40 rares of proper Armada cruising with piercing can be defeated by ops 34 through 36. Correct, Nathan. Defeated points are only slightly different. Now, here's the other thing. A 40 is worth, what, a little more than 7 times point value a 39. And your argument is, well, I can run way more 39s, thus more points. But here's the problem. Does that help you as a player and as an alliance? Because this is supposed to be built around you getting salvage parts. 39s are going to give you parts steal. That's it. The entire build-up here was to give people sourcing for officers, including projectile shards. That was the whole point. So could you technically score more points than an SLB ALB? Yes. But what are you getting in the SLB ALB that's worth more than officer shards? In my opinion, nothing. In my opinion, nothing. And I'm not saying that the ALB and SLB rewards are bad. They are not. But let's do a quick math. We love math here, right? Let's do a quick math. So let's say we're on the solo leaderboard and we finish where I'm at rank 4, rank 5. I'm only going to get 250 salvage parts. I say only, but I'll get 250 salvage parts. Also, the dog. Yes. If I run a rare, I'm going to get, and this is me being a weak player. This is me being a weak player. I'm going to get 15 to 20 salvage parts per rare that I run. My alliance of well over 70 people, everybody's running rares because this is what we're directing them to. My alliance is, look, y'all don't run uncommons, don't waste. So if everybody's running rares and we're all doing it together, there's way more value for me. It's only going to take me running 10, 15 armadas when everybody's doing them. There's short timers on all these armadas. I'm going to get way more salvage parts, which then gives me more value than simply running to get to the top, because there's limited here. Even the top is only getting 500 salvage parts. I can easily get that through running rares all day today. When we started this stream, I was already at over 500 salvage parts. That's based on a high value for salvage parts. I don't put salvage parts that high since you only get 4% chance of pulling an epic TOS Kirk or TOS Spock. Even if that's all you're seeing, you're still ignoring that, hey, we could be getting TOS Uhura up. TOS Uhura, she's the Enterprise killer. She's the Honor Guard Wharf Stopper. All of that matters. All of that has importance and value to me, and maybe it doesn't to everybody else, but that's all something that I think people should focus on, because officer sourcing is a problem in this game, and we complain about officer sourcing all the time. So if we are not taking advantage when sourcing is presented to us, it's almost like we're telling Scopely like we lied. Like, oh, never mind, officer sourcing is not that big of a deal. Let me run these uncommons so I can get a handful of event store currency. Because the event store currency is not that great in here. I mean, even if I got first place, 19,000 is not a lot. I mean, I'll take it. But you got 25 spots for each bracket. And I promise you that if you're going here, the value to me in this is the salvage parts. Because salvage parts turn into officers. This is going to guarantee give me more officers than chess pieces can. That's why I'm running it the way that I am. And the alliance leaderboard, obviously, that's going to be how your alliance ends up finishing. But there's 30 ranks there. Here's your couple TO Scotty shards, trade XP, assignment speed ups, thank God. You also get points for killing worms. Geordie +5 for max parts. Yeah, the Geordie 5 combo for max is pretty common. I don't have Geordie, sadly, so I can't run that. But wouldn't 5 as captain with 6 and Kirk be a really good crew on Enterprise? Yes, it is, Kevin. We actually talked about it, and like I said, I'll provide some of those Armada crews in my video a little bit later. But to me, what made this event better and what made this worm event worth doing is that it provided legitimate sourcing for for officers. That's what finally gave this value. And believe, no, I don't feel any issues at all. I understand that there's pressure points here, and I said this in the beginning of the stream. This event is not perfect. It's not. But it is so much better, in my opinion, based on my 3 accounts that I still run. It is better, in my opinion, than previous Doommadas. That does not mean it's perfect and that we've got it all figured out. I do think it's better. There's some things I think can be adjusted scale-wise. The under level 30 ops, with Eco having to find out about completions, does that mean there was no way for under level 30 to get 10 this month? There should be, Darren, but I'd need to just follow up with him on that. I just need to follow up with him. Let me follow up with him and see. We got lots of max Sallies online and a few epics running uncommons right now. Should we attempt to rare or keep doing uncommon? Leo, maxed 28s aren't really going to help you. And like I said in the video, I'll kind of go over a lot of the bullet points I've talked about today. You're going to need at least 32s to have a significant value. Epics, yes. 32s, yes. Depends on what we're running and crewing. 32s and 34s will allow you to take down the 40s. 28s are not going to cut it. 28s are not going to cut it. Party Jesus, I've actually run well over a dozen counts in my past 3 years on many servers. Yeah, John, nobody's arguing that we don't need consistent sourcing. Nobody's arguing that. But the entire point of this month, the anthology month, has each week been to give you sourcing for old things that have been difficult to source. How do I like Epic Rifle with Beverly and 6? Love it. Damage boost, you got your mitigation boost, and you got 6 with the piercing. The only thing I don't like is I would love for you to have an officer that gave you more rewards, because this is all built around salvage parts. Guess my alliance situation is dictated going for uncommons for more alliance points, since most of my alliance is still running on level 28 ships. On rares, the same 3 players have to be in. Yeah, Nick, now that makes sense for your alliance. Individually, it makes sense. How do you actually use salvage parts? Lactar, if you go to your officers, salvage parts are part of the original series arc that we had almost 2 years ago. You go to your Doomsday resistance chest, and you turn in your Doomsday resistance chest using salvage parts. And then from there, here, this is how you get your shards for officers, which there's my TOS Kirk shard, TOS Spock shard, TOS Kirk almost tier 2. That's nice. And then me getting projectile shards. No epics, maybe some rares, not heavily tiered, not spending months to get where I may be for some months. Small alliance, I'm not dealing with all of it. I understand, Barnabas. It's definitely going to be difficult for some players. No doubt there. So Jesus, I have actively played on like significant time on 189, 32, 20, 63, 51. I did join 65. I mean, I've been on a lot. Hey, Max, I'm good to see you. Can get Tindy and lower deck special for, yes, there's several packs you can buy. This way is fine. I just want to be repeatable, and Scopely history doesn't leave much hope on that. No argument there, John. I'm not here to lie and give you gushy rainbows, but I will say that we all should have been able to notice continual improvement here recently, and hopefully that's what we continue seeing. Can you exchange uncommon directives for rares? Which, are you talking about regular Armadas or Wormadas? Because Wormadas use the same directives. It's like, if I come down here and I look at let's just look at Titan real quick. Here's my Enterprise. And if I wanted to launch, see, it's going to cost me 1 directive. If I want to come launch a rare, I'm going to just come up here to the base where the 40s are. Just hit up Al real quick. If I want to launch a rare, it just costs me 50. You don't have to actually do any exchange. You just need 50 directives to launch a rare versus 1 to launch an uncommon. And yeah, Tiberius, there are a lot of new people. Eco being one of them. You're just an optimistic pessimist. I think they call that pragmatic. In the event store per Rev's advice, I should only buy purchase officers. Should I buy more premium, more ultra, or a combination of both? Michael, I would say a combination of both. The only other thing I could say for you as a lower level is look for any specialty ships. If you're level 19, that would probably be the Franklin's the only one there. And you might have already unlocked your Franklin. But specialty ships and officers. Does the PC version have the same problem with horrendous lag like the mobile version? I never have an issue with that, personally. So... You slipped up and had to get the Separatist D3? That's not a slip up. I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to have an entire video dedicated to the Separatist D3. Slagdar says worm-related events stink, but Slag, Slag, I know what level range you're at. Slag, I feel like that's a lot of old worm hate coming through. Do you legitimately hate this worm event? And if so, why? Do you legitimately hate this worm event? And if so, why? Because I want to give that feedback out. Had you get so many directives? Honest answer, I've saved them and never used the daggum things. Every time we've had a Doom event come around that ran directives, I never launched the Armadas. Now I'm launching them though. Plus I got, the 2 SMSs that helped give me, it was like 100, I think. Anyone else had the issue where you open a chest and then click on something else and that chest pops up? Yeah, that's happening a lot on my BlueStacks client. Slagdar, thank you for being 15 months member. If y'all do want to support the channel, not required, but definitely appreciated. Content creators can't make it without you. There's a donate link there, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all of it helps because I got a baby to pay for, and that's what that bar up there means. So spend it all on cash shards to prepare for the future. It's not a bad idea, Luke. If I really am, and it all goes back to things that we're asking them to do, need more sourcing for a lot of the officers. Kath, being a new officer, needs better sourcing. But yeah, pushing for it. Do you think this game will ever have a ship that can rendezvous with another to transfer materials to D-Space? No, I do not, Ian. Be cool though. Maybe I'm wrong. Rares need to be 5, not 50. Chris, I think you are grossly undervaluing a rare. By that logic, take the par steel, multiply it by 5. Is that worth the salvage parts? And we got to agree it's not. It's not. I'm heavily relying on my alliance for those Armada credits. Without a good alliance, it's impossible to do Wormadas. Any Armada event is designed for you to be in an active alliance. Any Armada event. Think we need a good solid par steel miner? Thoughts? mean, personally don't care. I mean, I keep in mind that I hate mining. I think mining is the worst part of this game. Events pay out a ton of par steel. Raiding pays out a ton of par steel. I have no desire to mine par steel. Hey, Win, you're here to smack me around a little bit, aren't you? I'm gonna go ahead and recall then. You know what? Never mind, aren't you? You're just going home. Never mind. Never mind. I just don't feel like repairing my ISS today. I saw it was worms today and thought how happy you must be. This is a rare time where I'm not minding the worms. That's only because me and DJ got to put in a heavy feedback here, and I think it's slightly better. I think it's slightly better. Do you hate mining more or less than you do manual labor? I hate mining more than I hate manual labor. Because, I don't know if y'all have seen, in my Discord, I'm doing my own yard work and all that other stuff. I mean, I'll do manual labor. Just don't necessarily like it. I hate mining more. And it says, officer sourcing is broken and getting worse. I yelled to you and DJ for years, stopped after improvement was promised, but still auctions for a 19-month-old officer. I don't agree with you, Andy. Do I think it's still a problem? Yes. Do I think it's improved? Also, yes. It's still not where we want it to be, but it has definitely continued to improve. Drops 37 Friday is G3 event. Should I aim for 39 for next BP or enterprise tiers? Honestly, whatever pays you out more. What tier is your enterprise? Oh, tier 5? I would definitely get that enterprise a little higher. I'd get it a little bit higher. I think it's more slightly better, but not great. Yeah. You're talking about the worm event. Agree. I think that the worm event is good. Still needs adjustment. And I still agree, especially for the lower level players who are listening, that if you're forced to do uncommons, there should be better payout for those players. Here, I'm going to actually ask Jedi if I can get a... can I get a star? Thank you. I mean, I lost a ton of Armadas for them, so I'm going to be asking for stars to get some payback. Maybe fun is inaccurate. Slag, I'll check it in just a second, buddy. Thank you. Let me repair these ships. And by the way, keep dropping feedback, y'all. Even if it's negative feedback, the improvement is negated by the need for new officers to be sourced. Also, unlocking them should be the start of the process, not the end. No argument there, Andy. But at the same time, sourcing has greatly improved. I mean, even now, we've got how many running? You got your ultras, which are more compact. I'm not a big fan of this month's ultras, but this does help. Getting 12. You do have now 12 shards in each pull versus 10 what it used to be. And I'm not arguing with you that more needs to be done. But the Doomsday resistance chest right now, depending on how I mean, I'm going to end up pulling, see what we get, 4 per. I'm going to get 4 per. I'm going to end up after these 2 days with at least 50 officer shards. That's a massive improvement. Events have not typically done that. Now, can we argue consistency needs to be there? Oh, of course. Dude, nobody's going to argue that consistency's been an issue. I'm here to say that's an issue. But I can't sit here and say it's not much better either. It is still much better. It's just not where it needs to be. And that's the difference. I always feel like I got to give some love when it's deserved. There's plenty of things that we can complain about, though. Still complain. Please still complain. Do you ever get a chance to go on vacation? No. I've not been on vacation in over 2 years. I work literally every day. Holidays, birthdays, I work. I'm here for y'all because I love y'all and I want to support my family. I'm proud to work hard. I'm proud to do 60-hour work weeks and stuff. I want to support my family. I love my family. I love my children more than anything. And my children are the main reason I'm here every day going nuts so crazy. And I have no regrets in that. So no, I don't take vacations. Do I want to take one? Sure. But maybe if I go to TwitchCon this year, that'll count as my vacation. It'll be like a work trip that we actually can have fun doing. But all that aside, I truly love working for y'all because that's what I do. I work for y'all. The 5,000 direct event is referred to as a Code Mirage Maru event in the news channel on our stations. It's meant to be nearly impossible. I'll never finish it, but I love the idea. Exactly, Prickly Poo. I believe that was Snake Eyes' recommendation for the name. So shout out Snake Eyes. My recommendation was Straight On to Morning. just another Star Trek reference, but it's basically meant to be impossible. It's basically meant to be impossible. If you do it, fantastic, but it's more meant to give you a spot to where if you're spinning all these directives for your alliance, you're getting a return for it. A massive shout out to Slag, who just donated to the baby fund, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you 100% so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just updated on the screen. I greatly appreciate it. Toronto Morning is a Peter Pan reference that Kirk stole. Nope, that's a Star Trek reference. Nobody's ever uttered it before. If incompletable, how many should you run? Jeff, that's entirely up to you. You know, I am going to try to push on my leaderboard. So I'm actually going to try to do a lot of my leaderboard. No Barnabas. I'm not thinking Peter Pan. I'm thinking specifically when James T. Kirk said it, and I'm ignoring Peter Pan. But because I'm doing the leaderboard, this is basically giving me a double payout. So I'm getting a reward for if I finish high on my solo leaderboard, which I'm currently right here. And I'm going to get double value with the starter bonus for each one I run, giving me more and more salvage parts. So it's basically like I'm getting an SMS to go aside my SLB while also having another SMS. That's why I like it so much. And yeah, there are some amazing frames of avatars. Yeah, Kirk does say at the end of Undiscovered Country. I'm a huge Trekkie, y'all. And I'm not saying that I dislike... All right, sorry to answer your question. What are the solo leaderboard brackets? Ooh, 7. Nice. My bracket, and Kindness, you're in my server. The brackets, I don't know if we posted them in my Discord or not. They're more of a condensed bracket than normal. See, you look at my names, and all of these people are in my low 40s range. I'm pretty sure this is like a 40 to 42 bracket. Pretty sure this is a 40 to 42 bracket. This or 40 to 41 bracket. This is a condensed bracket. This is a much more condensed bracket than we normally get. I don't know how it is for the upper 40s. But these are much tighter brackets than what we normally have. And yes, I agree. I love that these Armadas are instant respawns. I love that these Armadas are instant respawns. I like this month where each week has its own theme. Would Scopely do something like this again in the future? Yes, they will do something like this again in the future. I can't tell you it's anytime soon, but I think it's been a very successful idea to revisit old IPs that we've done before and do again. Yeah, Kindness, this was intentional. Like, this is something that, like I said, me and DJ provided a ton of feedback on. DJ did a really good job with helping with scaling events, and we had meetings going over what rewards needed to be for people to feel like they had value. Smaller brackets was part of that. And hopefully the participation is extremely high, because when participation is high, that gives them the justification to do stuff like this again. Chris says a 40 rare will give about 60, a 43 will give about 70 with 6 seats. That is about 10 to 12 if everyone is equal. Max pool will be about 20 per Armada. The top players will get about 15, others 5 to 10. Correct, Chris. You need 50 salvage parts for 4 rare shards. Most players won't even get a free chest running 4. Depends on if they're running or participating. Because imagine if those 6 people each run 4, that's 24 Armadas. That's everybody getting a minimum of 240. Lag is terrible. I've had no lag on any account so far today. Lag is usually dependent on your device versus Scopely's. Especially iOS, which still has been problematic, but I think they've been getting a lot better with the Unity client updates. And I will say that we did talk to them like, hey, you're going to have to source a lot of directive. Now, we'll also add, when it comes to the actual directive sourcing, not getting as many Doomsday directive source as I wanted, but I do think it's improved. So BlueStacks, remember, Izzy, that BlueStacks is not a supported client. BlueStacks is not a supported client. BlueStacks is an emulator, and no company supports emulators. Not that I don't use it. I use BlueStacks, but just remember that. No, Major, I don't have anything for you. I'll try to have it by the end of the day, and I'll probably post it in my Discord. So Izzy, just make sure also that you've updated that BlueStacks. But remember, because it's an Android emulator, that it can be more unstable. I do recommend the PC version if you're playing on a computer. Where there are no level 39 rares, Miki, the lowest level rare for Doomadas are 40s. 39s are uncommons. So like if you come down here at the bottom of the map, these are going to be your uncommons. And then you got to come up here. The 40s are... And I'll say power-wise, there's not a huge difference between 39s and 40s. It's 32, 35, 35. There's 39. So we scan. There's a 30,000 defense difference, 15 million power difference. That's not a drastic change, especially if you have level 39s with 6 slots. Speaking of feedback, I would much rather prefer the Tindy Recruit SMS event have payout tiers of 15, 30, 30, and 45 instead of 120 all at once. Yeah, but I don't think they would ever agree to that. Because the entire point is for it to be something special that you work towards. And if you miss it, you have to spend to make up for it. 600 salvage parts so far? Wow, graduate. That's more than I've pulled so far. Once again, this goes back to needing to be very active in your alliance. Jules says the 40s are easy. No problem with 36 to 38 level players with 5-seaters. I agree, Jules. And this is something that I'm not trying to be contentious about. But a lot of people came in and said this is so difficult. I'm telling y'all, more people can hit and do these 40s than they realize. It is definitely doable. Now, I know I'm saying that from a Valdor, so people are going to be like, well, Rev, you're just saying it because you have a Valdor. No, I promise you, it's doable. Now, the payouts are still not great. So you got to try to participate in as many as you can. You saw I just got 4 there and no box. But I missed 1 trophy. Do I have any chance of getting Tindy? If you missed a trophy, no, you're going to have to spend to make up for that miss. You have to spend to make up for the miss. Tier 9, level 42 Enterprise, accidentally soloed a rare 40 worm. How did you accidentally solo it? Where was everybody else? Kevin says tier 5 Enterprises with verse 43s do well if you can crew it. Yes. By the way, look, if you are watching right now, do me a massive favor. Do me a massive favor, okay? If you are a PC player and your alliance is running Doommadas, the rare 40s and 43s, please send me battle logs, the CSVs that you can export from your PC version. Now, here's the caveat. I only want logs that include epic and rare ships, 32s and 34s. Don't include Katingas, Valdors, Kelvins, nothing. All right? I just want to prove a point because people still don't believe unless they see. Send me logs, and I will put them on screen in today's video of you having a tier 6 Enterprise and a group of them beating a rare, okay? Because people don't want to believe. And I know it can be done. I've done it myself. But because people want to see things to believe it, just shoot me the file on Discord and I will put those up on the screen. Remember, I have a video about this coming out in less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours, talking about Doommadas, crewing, and everything else. You have 2 more Make Completion trophies left. Is that enough to finish any event? Yes, you'll have plenty, Ryan. You'll be fine. I'm looking for level 40 Wormadas being beat by level 28s. I don't think I can find that for you, Terry. They just don't have enough hull health or enough piercing stats. Now, a Saladin could win if it was carried with other ships. Exactly, Dean. Dean, exactly. If I could convince people that crewing matters. We had another player in this chat earlier today who was in all caps in the... Thank you, Chris. Who was in all caps like, well, we were using those crews, LOL, too hard. I promise you, if you're doing it right, it's not that hard. Is a T4 Burrell good enough to get in? Yes, it is. The 32s and 34s are the minimum that you need to do the rares. Crewing matters. Crewing matters. Where should we be for free to play? After today is 23, William. 23. Wormadas are weak, Azure. That's the point I'm trying to make to people is these Armadas are not as strong as like a Borgmada. Crewing is how you win. Crewing is how you get the most value. Crewing is how you punch up. People bringing like Pike Moreau Chin and Pike Moreau Kang and stuff to random Armadas. Stop it. Get some help. Watch a YouTube video. Don't do that. Stop it. Battery value in Event Store Meridian skin or 30 Vidar BPs. If you've not unlocked the Vidar and you're wanting to do it quicker, the Vidar. If you're trying to speed up your sourcing. But I do love the Meridian skin. And even then, the Borgmadas can be beat with proper crew setup. Had a bunch of low 30s that beat a Mega Cube easily. Yeah. Yeah, Graduated, of course. It's not hard if you're doing it right. Draco says 100% true. We are able to 3 people a 51 epic with proper crewing, Lorca and Troy. And if we don't have Troy, we get stomped with 6 people. Troy is big for late level gameplay. I wish he was easier to be sourced though. I don't even think I'm pretty sure I don't even have Troy. If I do, she's tier 1. But Troy is great. Oh, I actually do have Troy. Look at that. I got tier 1 Troy. That captain's ability though, reduce that critical chance. Get out of here with that critical. Get out of here. Yeah, Troy's huge. One out Q. Loot crews are fine. Just make sure you can win. I'm going to keep going to these Armadas as many as I can get in. As many as I can get in. Oh, I'm going to send another message just to remind them. Oh, wow. So many of y'all have sent logs. Thank y'all so much. I'm waiting on that to come back. I appreciate all the logs. Now, I'm going to warn y'all. I can't, like 15 people have sent logs so far. I can't use all of them. But I'm going to go through them. We'll use them. And I appreciate everybody sending me logs. Okay? I really do. I appreciate everybody sending me logs. I've only ever gotten an entire Armada to bring correct crews one time. I have little hope they'll start listening on Wormadas. Yes, Brian. Post them in Discord. Now, remember, I'm also looking for the CSV file. Just DM me on Discord. I'm looking for the CSV. I want the actual CSV file that you export, and then I can put that into Spock's Club and put it on the screen. Simon, which one are you talking about? Which SMS? Would Gonzalez be as effective as Troy, or is Troy better, more effective than Gonzalez? Depends on the Armada. Because you're talking about reducing the damage. It depends on which Armada. Some of those big Armadas have big damage bonuses. Well, thank you, Q. That's very kind of you. I think I look kind of disheveled. I have a level 38 player who runs Cadet Uhura, Cadet Sulu, and Instructor Spock on everything, and nothing I've said will ever convince him to change. Dan, if you want to take a clip of this, this is Rev Deuce. 3+ years of playing this game. Considered one of the foremost experts in Star Trek Fleet Command, as lame as that is. Running Cadet Uhura, Cadet Sulu, and Instructor Spock is a very bad crew for a level 30 player. Or a level 38 player, for that matter. It's not meant to shame you. Just that you could do better, believe it or not. Clip it, send it to them. They don't believe me? Well, then that's all I can do for you. That's all I can do for you. I missed the completionist trophy. Do I have to buy a pack to get Tindy? Yes. To finish that Tindy event, you will have to buy a pack to make up for it. There is no extra day. There is no leeway. There is no leeway. Well, he can enjoy being wrong then. It is what it is. Some people just they're stubborn and hard-headed. What can I say? Some people are just stubborn and hard-headed. It's annoying though. Yeah, it's not even. You're right. That's not even the best cadet crew. Didn't even charge you. I mean, I really try not to be that content creator who's always like, yeah, $30 and I'll help you with your account. I mean, I will. And look, if you need one-on-one help with your account, sure. I mean, I say, hey, the donation's optional. I really encourage it, but I'm not gonna be that content creator who's like, yeah, you want me? $50. But please donate $50. They cut the lower decks arc short a month. I was hoping for the bridge officers and Cerritos in the last month. You're getting all the lower deck officers for now that you could be getting. Event stores signify the end of a run. Event stores signify the end of a run. Hey, Kindness, if you're still listening, can you star me and make sure I get in? Appreciate it. You want logs from an epic? I have logs from an epic, Dennis. I mean, you can send me logs. I love looking and studying at logs. But here's me running a 50. Well, that's not it. Here's me running a 50 epic earlier today with our alliance. And it went 9 rounds. Sadly, Kindness's Katinga blew up. Apparently, it just didn't like that Katinga. But, yeah, we did 2 Katingas, a Pylum, a Vorcha, a Sompek, and then my Valdor. Easily took it down. That wasn't even a contest. Thank you, Kindness. I appreciate it. Worms, not Wormadas. Oh, so are you talking about this SMS? This one right here? I personally don't think it's that ridiculous, but I think that's going to be relative to the players. Like, I can kill a level 46 worm. That means I'd have to kill 2 of them. I'll probably do it. I think I'd only kill 1 hole per worm. But yeah, there's a couple of crews I could run to make that happen. You have to get 2.6. Yeah, I mean, it scales heavy, but as a level 44, you're expected, I'm not saying this is a reasonable expectation, but you're expected to have a pretty decent level 42 or ship. Well, Mr. Hunter, good thing for you, man. I have got a ton of officer videos, or you can always hit me up. And like I said, I don't charge a specific amount. You donate to my channel, man, it's appreciated, but I'll help you out. You want to donate $20, you want to donate $2,000, you want to donate $2 million, I'll take all of it. Thank you, Draco. I appreciate it. I do love Troy, and I don't think enough high levels even know about her. How's my rep doing? I haven't even looked. How's my rep? I need to hurry up and stop being lazy and get that Klingon up to celebrate him. You get my Klingon up to celebrate him. Appreciate you, Dennis. Officers are everything in the game. Officers and research are the name of this game. Officers and research. Medicines, I think the event is relatively easy. I think that it can be difficult for some players. I do think that it can be difficult for some players. I'm going to try to do decently well on the leaderboard. We'll see. The brackets are pretty condensed here. But honestly, the only thing I care about in the leaderboard, the only thing I really care about in the leaderboard is, I hate to say this, the freaking dog. I want the dog. So as long as I get top 5, I get the dog. I really want the freaking dog avatar. I really want the dog avatar. So, as of now, I am top 5. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Will I regret not unlocking ROM from the event store? ROM is the best base raider in the game. Obviously, that's extremely useful. It's kind of up to you on whether you want to go for it, though. All hail the dog. It's one of my favorite episodes from Lower Decks. One of my favorite episodes from Lower Decks. I mandate Troy in any of my deep modas. We always have Lorca, which I bring, and someone must bring Troy. That smart, Draco. I mean, you know Cruz, though. There once was a Rev that said frames and avatars were stupid. Yes, there was a day where Rev said frames and avatars were stupid. This did happen. And holy crap, do I have a lot of DMs right now. All right, if y'all have not already, I'm going to drop the links. We're not going to be live but a few more minutes because I got to get this video out helping people with these Doommadas that so many people are freaking out about. But the donate link, hey, content creators, myself included, cannot make it without your help. It's legitimate. We need y'all to help us. So that's why I've got the link right there. Check it out. Check out the link, the donate link. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whether it's $5, whatever. Everything helps, especially with the baby on the way. Also, my Discord. If you have not joined my Discord, let me help you. Let me help you. I want to help you. I want to be a content creator who's always with the people. We'll be streaming for a few more minutes. If you have questions, we'll get them. But obviously, I can't stream 24 hours. So please, 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 if you need help, Facebook, Discord, I'm here to help you. I want to. If you have issues in the game, let me help you. If it's a serious issue that I need to push up directly to somebody that I have in customer support or something, I will do that. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, every ticket you make does not mean I'm going to just go and push it up for you. Some things just need to take their course, and sometimes you don't get the answers as quickly as you want. But I will help out everybody that I can. Everybody that I can. Will a tier 2 Troy be enough to make a difference? Yes. Yes. Draco, since this is your pet project, do you want to explain to Nick why a tier 2 Troy would be enough? You should go for the Guinness World Record for longest stream. With Derek, I'm not sure how much you follow with Twitch. We are really big on Twitch. I'll actually be live again tonight on Twitch. But there's a streamer who just finished up 30 days straight of streaming nonstop. 30 days. So there's already some pretty long records out there. I think this could be a decent mid-arc event if they code in leader chest, which is what I think they're going for. That could be dope. Derek's like, oh, yikes. Yeah, the longest stream is pretty damn long. When I have a question, reach out to your Discord. Do I tag you directly to get help? You can, Michael. Now, if you're in my Discord has a ton of knowledgeable, helpful players. It doesn't always have to be me. But if you go into any of the STFC channels that we have a lot of people who can help you out, or you can always tag me too. Now, I can't promise that I'm going to respond to your tag quickly. Some days it takes me hours to get back to tags. So if you need something immediately, ask whoever's around, and I promise you'll get some good answers. But yeah. Thank you, Draco, because it's her captain's ability that matters, not officer. But I will say her officer ability can help, obviously depending on the type of Armada you're running after. Depending on the type of Armada you're running after. But it's her captain's ability that makes her so valuable, and that's why I showed it. Consecutive days, Co Carnage was live on Twitch for like 2,000 straight days. Yeah. They were talking about non-ending stream. Non-ending stream. Troy Rocker Bev is a good Romulan Armada crew. I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree. Can I just say thanks to Scopely for adding emos to the PC chat? You can, Lactar. That is actually something that got asked a lot. I know I had a few people like, really? They added this? Like, I promise you. I had a lot of people saying that they wanted it, and I am glad that it got added. Some things I don't want to see you doing, Rev, even on Twitch. Dang, Private Piles. What's that supposed to mean? Our Twitch is a lot of fun. I love our Twitch channel. I love our Twitch channel. I've asked some questions in FC's general queue, but didn't get answers, so I wasn't sure if I was doing it correctly. The easiest way, Michael, like if you feel like you don't get your questions quickly, because I think I've answered one of your questions in the general channel, is tag one of the moderators. They are a blue name. Tag, so you can just actually just tag moderators, or you can tag myself. We'll be getting Wormadas directives tomorrow. I think there's another SMS tomorrow. We'll double check that. You know how many chicken dances you have to do in 24 hours? Look, I'll do anything for my kids. And if that means shaking my booty, I'll shake my booty. I'll shake my booty. I'll shake my booty. Trying to decide if I should hold on to the 30-ish I have left to get enough for at least one more rarium. That makes sense. I love they said they fixed coordinate posting issue and mine was working fine until they fixed it. Well, I did make a joke in that in my Discord yesterday. I'm not sure how many people saw it, but I did make that reference that as soon as they fix one thing or fix two things, they're obligated to break one other. So. Oh, let's see. Still no word from Eco on the completionist event for lower level players, by the way. One more shot before you sign off. Better off spending event loot to get my first ISS jelly or on an auger and enterprise refits. Honestly, ISS jelly, but no. Honestly, the ISS jelly. Dang it, I waited too long to get this over there. I waited too daggum long. And we get my, ooh, wow. 18 is a pretty good one for me on that one. Let's get through saying and launch that the rares are the key to this event. And the very next message is an uncommon start. Well, hopefully what you can do is show my video and I can explain that and we'll see if that changes their minds any. Correct, Bill. Burn your salvages. Go ahead and spend them. Go ahead and spend them. Because even most recruit events are going to be based around spending ultras. So 99 little bugs in the code. Nice, Brian. Do we have the results of that survey? We do. In fact, the Star Trek Fleet Command overlords had a meeting about that. Believe it or not, they had a meeting about that survey. So I'm hopefully having an update for y'all in the next week or two that I'll be able to share some information. Like, I think that y'all should be proud that y'all were able to put forth enough voices to where they had an actual meeting about the survey that y'all pushed. I think that matters, y'all. I think that matters. Tiberius says there's a heroic recruit tomorrow. You might want to use it for that. True, Tiberius, but I always use my factions for that because that one's pretty easy to complete. That one's pretty easy to complete. But I get what you're saying. Let me go to kindnesses. Confirm. Due to a war and work, I missed one of the trophies needed for the epic. Are they going to do something to give 2 trophies for it? No, if you missed a day, you cannot complete it free to play. The only way to get it free to play was to do every single event. You would have to buy to make up for it. Now, I will say, as Sean said, buying the Section 31 refit for the disco is not a bad way to spend $20, and it will give you 2 points. I mean, there is value in that skin. I hate to say that, but there is value in that skin. Not to mention it also looks freaking amazing. Hey, Kindness, can I get another star if you're still listening? Can I get another star if you're still listening? I'm not sure if you're a pure free-to-player triple or if you're willing to spend 20 bucks, but that's what you'd have to do to make up for missing a day. What I'm doing, I missed 2 days due to camping. I'm picking up the S31 to make up for it. Makes sense. Don't be like Ripper and buy it and they don't actually apply it to the ship. Well, I mean, Ripper's defense, I don't think you don't have to apply it, but it definitely looks freaking good. Chris, by design, there will be no extra. Nobody should finish with any extra. What's the best 34 epic ship crew for worms? What level worms should we go after? For worms or Wormadas? For worms, Pipe Moreau Chin. And just, or, Pipe Moreau Talon or Picard, Beverly, etc. And then just go after how you would normally do hostiles. Alexandre. I see what you did there. All right, look, I've got to wrap up here. Y'all have been fantastic. I've enjoyed so much that y'all are here. Once again, last call. I'm gonna throw up the donate link in the Discord. If y'all haven't joined those already, please feel free to support the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Smash the like button on your way out. That does help the channel grow. Live long and prosper. Stay safe out there. I've got to finish this video where we'll have a video, hopefully without in the next hour, where I talk about Wormadas. Y'all can send that to your alliance. Share it out. Y'all are amazing. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one. God bless. I'm out. Goodbye.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your